Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge, and let's talk horror. Now, today I am joined by somebody that I have had as a guest before, and I am so excited to have her back. A very successful young lady, the amazing Amelie McLain. Amelie, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I am so good. So I had you on a couple years ago. We were talking about Transference, a film that you were a part of at that time. And at that point, we knew that you were going to be part of Terrifier 2, but we knew that it was nothing really that we could talk about. So before we talk about Terrifier 2, what was it like being a part of Transference and even like General Hospital, something that's been around since the 70s? And your name is stamped on that forever now. What does it feel like to be a part of those projects as well?
Well, I love Transference because it was my first movie. This was the first really big thing I ever did. So I came into it not really knowing what to expect, but everyone was so sweet and welcoming on that set. And it really just was such a great experience. And same thing with General Hospital. Everyone is so sweet on there. And I just love being in a soap opera. It's great.
Right. Well, do you think that those roles helped you to land your role in Terrifier 2?
Yes, definitely. It helped with my acting, my facial expressions, everything like that definitely helped.
Mhm. Well, and a big part of Terrifier 2's success, I believe, is the little pale girl. Whenever we talk to people about this movie, we talk about the brutality and the little pale girl, and what a great inclusion you were into the film. So when you got the script, was this something you knew right away, like, yes, I want to be a part of this?
Well, my mom got the audition for me, and she was like, "This is kind of a big thing. Like, you're gonna have to wear contacts. You're gonna have to get your hair all teased up and wear dentures, all of these things, all this makeup." And I was like, "I'm not sure. I don't know what to expect." And then when I originally got the part, I was a little nervous, but I got
Mhm.
on set and I was scared, not gonna lie. I was pretty
Right.
nervous about meeting Art the clown or David. And after I met him, he's literally the sweetest guy ever. So
Yes.
he's so sweet.
Yep. And he's another guy that I've been so honored to have conversations with. And you're right. Like he is a guy that will make you feel so comfortable.
No, right?
And I can imagine that how much of an actor you have to be able to go from Art the Clown to David Howard Thornton. And that was actually my next question for you. What was it like working with David? And did you have moments with Felissa Rose and all these amazing people that were on set? What was it like working with a lot of these people that are really staples in the horror genre?
Yeah, David was the best. Seriously. I wasn't originally sure how to do all these facial emotions and everything, but I would just watch him from the sidelines and he would help me. He was always there to help me whenever I needed anything. Same thing with Damien. Damien is the
Mhm.
sweetest guy, and so is Lauren. Everybody on that cast is just so sweet.
Well, it's amazing how we're watching a movie that is brutal. Like this movie is brutal, but you have the sweetest, kindest, most amazing people that are working on the movie. Is that something that you kind of expected, or were you kind of shocked a little bit to learn how sweet and kind everybody was in a killer clown movie?
Yeah, I was a little bit. I mean, obviously, I knew they were going to be sweet, but I was shocked just how sweet they are. These people are like so kind.
Mhm. When you were filming, because like I said, there's a lot of big names in this, and All Hallows Eve and Terrifier, they had already had their mark in the horror community. Art the Clown was already something that we knew was gonna sell tickets. We didn't know to the point that it was. At the time of filming this, you guys filmed the movie on a $250,000 budget. And at the time of recording, you've brought in over $2.544 million. That is almost unheard of because this movie didn't have mainstream promotion. There wasn't mainstream trailers out there. There wasn't ads going all over the place. This is a movie that shows horror owns the cinema. And did you guys have any type of expectation that this movie would do something like this?
Not at all. I didn't even know it was gonna go in theaters. And then all of a sudden it's in all the theaters around me. All my friends are going to see it and everyone's talking about it. I was not expecting that at all.
Do you have like your friends that call you like, whoa, like what was
Yeah.
that?
Yes, they're like, I can't believe this movie is just skyrocketed like this. Everyone at my school is talking about it.
That's so cool, man. And I'm so happy for you because the last time I talked to you when we were doing the transference interview, I knew that you were gonna take off because you are kind and you're sweet and you are just willing to listen, talking on interview, and they were talking about you on set, your ability to listen to what they're saying and take it in and really soak in what they're saying to you. And you come here and you play this little pale girl. And I don't want to give away too many spoilers because yes, now that this episode has been released, the movie is streaming on Screenbox. So you don't have to go to the cinema to see it. But I don't want to give away too many spoilers about the film. How was the filming process? How long were you on set for?
Um, that's a good question. I would obviously take breaks, but I mean, we would film a scene, take a break, film another scene,
Mhm.
and like you were talking about, like all the different facial emotions and everything. I was on set, but even if I wasn't actually filming, I was taking a lot of my time watching from the sidelines, watching how David was acting, watching his facial emotions, everything. So, I mean, I was on set a long time just watching.
And that's, especially for such a young lady, that's a really good way for you to learn more of the business, is watching these people that are staples in the horror community. And you're going to be following in those footsteps. I could see you doing this for a very long time. And Ashley and I literally cheered when we saw you come on screen. We were like, oh, we know her. This is so cool. And we're so proud of you. And do you have, I know that there's a lot of stuff that goes with NDAs and things like that, but do you have anything coming up down the pipeline that you can tell us about?
Um, well,
If
I
if you're nervous about it, don't say it because I don't want you to get in trouble.
I can't say. I don't think I should
Okay.
say.
No, that's fine. But what you guys can do is I have her social media links down here in the description. So you can follow her so you can stay up to date. So when she can talk about it, you could be one of the first ones to know.
Yes.
Something you touched on a little bit earlier, and I wanted to dive into the makeup process. How long on average would you say that you were doing makeup? Like you said, you had to get your hair, your makeup, your contacts, the dentures. How long would you say usually per day you were doing makeup?
Probably 2 hours in the chair with hair and makeup and everything, and then it took a while to get the contacts in, definitely, but once those are in, yeah, probably about 2.5 hours.
Like when you would look at yourself after the transformation, did you at that point feel like the little pale girl? Like you were no longer Amelie, you were the little pale girl now?
Yes, I couldn't even recognize myself, like, I've transformed into this whole different person.
And what was it like being again, I don't want to go too spoilery here, but to be around all the brutality on set, like what was that like for you?
They did a pretty good job with making sure I wasn't, like, seeing all the kills and everything like that, but, I mean, yeah, I had to work with a little bit of gore, especially in the, possum scene with all the guts and everything, but that was kind of the only, like, brutality. Damien did a great job with making sure, like, I was, not exposed to all of that stuff.
Sure. Well, have you been able to go back and rewatch the whole movie
Oh,
now?
yeah, that one bedroom scene, that was rough.
Yes. Well, I mean, you could say forever, and this to me is something that I've had this conversation, and I don't mind saying I'm wrong. I've been able to, 36 years on this planet, I've been able to learn to say when you're wrong. And I said that we will never have another movie in the cinema like The Exorcist, where people are running out, crying, screaming, puking. And boy, did you guys prove me wrong. And to the point where, like I said, you have people that are literally calling cinemas demanding that this movie be played in their theater. Like, this is incredible. Like, this is something to me that I thought I would never ever see again. The Exorcist, you didn't have Google in your pocket. You didn't have that, way to research things and look things up. And even with that, you guys are making people cry, scream, puke. Like, this is amazing to me that people know what they're going into and you're still rocking their worlds. Like, when you hear that, what does that make you feel?
I mean, that's just crazy, and one thing is I went to the theater to see it with my grandma and a ton of her friends, and let's just say, like, they were gagging, they were puking, like, I could audibly hear them, like, "Ugh," this one girl was, like, hiding behind her blanket. It was bad, and I think it's crazy that, like, people are even fainting. This is like, I did not expect that, because a lot of these people have grown up seeing horror movies their whole life, so for them to be gagging and puking and fainting because of this, that's big.
It's
And not
huge.
in a good
And
way. I wanna make sure everybody's safe and good and everything like that.
like, I love how you're so, I want to make sure everybody is safe and good, but I know on the inside at some point you're like, you threw up in my movie. I we did that. No, and it's amazing, man. And it's one of those things where you hear this, and I have obviously nothing to do with the film, nothing at all. But people that I've worked with, you and David and Damien, I see and I hear that you guys are making this film, and I'm praying for the most success. And none of us could have imagined this doing what it did, but it shows not only the hard work and commitment that you and everybody else on set had, but everybody behind the scenes as well, whether it's makeup or anybody, the editing team. You guys all came together and you did something that is literally lightning in a bottle. You've done something that everybody that makes an indie horror film hopes happens with their movie, and it catches fire. And you just keep seeing, like, Terrifier 2 on week 4, Outlast Halloween Ends on week 2, and you're like, your guys' opening weekend took in more than other movies that were their opening weekend and had advertising budgets, had all these different trailers that were out, and your guys' indie horror film came out and kicked their butt. Like, have you gotten like phone calls from people like, can you believe that we've done this? Like, have you got, like, has it really settled into you how amazing what this is you've done is?
Yes, it's big, and like you were saying, we couldn't have done this without everybody on set,
Mhm.
because you don't really see how many people behind the scenes, because everybody has a certain job they're doing to get this film where it is, like Damien. We couldn't have done
Mhm.
it without Damien and Phil, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Damien, he's the man.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Yeah, and it's just like these are the things that even not people involved in the film, but horror fans, because horror is snubbed all the time and it's looked at with people putting their nose up to it or looking down on it because of what it is. And this shows, like, you guys brought in over 10 times what you spent on the film with no marketing budget. That's amazing, Amelie. And the older you get, I think you're gonna be able to look back on this and go, wow, I was a part of something that was so special. And I compare Terrifier 2 to the Blair Witch Project. And I mean that with the most respect, because when that movie came out, it had no budget at all and it tore up the box office. And you've got theaters scrambling, trying to get this movie to their cinema so they can make more money. Now, I'm not going to say anything too spoiler here, but if there were ever to be a Terrifier 3, is that something you would be interested in some capacity?
Of course. I'm always interested. I'm always down for that.
Well, I can't wait to see what you have coming up here in the future, because everything that you've done, I've been a huge fan of it. I've been following you ever since I got the chance to meet you and the other ladies on Transference, and I will continue to follow you. And you guys can all continue to do that too by clicking these links down in the description and following Amelie on social media. So, Amelie, before I let you go, if somebody has not seen Terrifier 2 yet that's watching this, what would your advice be to them before they go and watch it?
Be prepared, and yeah, just be prepared, and be prepared to puke or gag or throw up. It's a lot. It's
In,
a lot,
in the
but you're gonna
best of
love it.
ways. Yes, you are absolutely going to love it. So, Amelie, please don't go anywhere. I got a couple more questions for you. Everybody else, as always. And I'm going to add this. If you have not seen Terrifier 2, I have the Screenbox link down in the description as well with all of Amelie's social media links. So make sure you're checking this film out. If you weren't able to catch it on a theatrical run, I understand. My wife and I had to drive 2.5 hours to watch the movie. No regrets. But if you didn't have the chance to watch this theatrically, it is streaming now. So please make sure you're checking it out, because I promise you this is not something you're going to want to miss. So until next time, guys, keep talking horror, stay what you are, and we'll see you guys soon.